in which the children of the EWS section were to be provided with 25% seats allocated. Now we have the new education policy 2020. So let us try to go through this. Is it visible to all of you?
Not yet, sir. The screen yet to be shared, sir.
Okay. Now the National Education Policy 1986, as you see here, it has been now reforms have come in after 34 years, and now this National Policy of Education will be termed as National Education Policy. Moreover, the Ministry of HRD will now be the Ministry of Education, and the chairman of this Ministry of Education will be our Honorable Prime Minister. So these reforms have come in with the basic aim that India should regain the lost golden glory of education worldwide. Globally, India should be the number one in education too. So these few reforms have come in. School system earlier, which we were following in private schools, we used to have 3 years in the pre-primary, that is nursery, LKG, UKG. Then we used to have 10 years education till 10th standard. This was common subjects. And then in 11th, we had to choose specific subjects. So there were 2 years of specialization. So it was 10 plus 2 system. Now that 10 plus 2 system has been revoked, it has been restructured. And now the new system which is going to be come into place, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. That means 5 years plus 3 years of education learning period, another 3 years of learning period, and then 4 years. So it has been classified as the foundation stage, 5 years, 3 years preparatory stage, 3 years middle school stage, and 4 years high school stage. So let us see now as we go a bit further.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, PPT is not yet shared on the screen, sir.
Pardon?
Sir, PPT is not shared on the screen, sir.
Okay. Are you there now?
Yes, sir. We can see the desktop.
Is it there?
Sir, it's opening, sir.
Have you got it, Meenakshi ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are we together on this?
Yes, sir.
All of you? Jaydev sir?
I can see you, sir. This it is initial 5 years. The slides is coming.
Okay.
Okay. Fine, sir.
All of you, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Foundation stage. Do you see that? Okay, are you there?
Sir, we can carry on, sir. Please carry on, sir. It's okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
नहीं है.
First focus that has come is into early children care and education. So now these 5 years, that is duration of 3 years of age to 8 years of age, it has been decided that the mother tongue, the medium of education will be the mother tongue, or it will be the regional language or the local language. Okay, and the main focus here is the learning of the language, so that a student becomes very fluent with the language, the mother tongue, and the future education can take place according to that. So multilingualism comes in here. Secondly, the NCERT is going to prepare a curriculum, because this is going to be a new curriculum. The curriculum is going to be flexible, multifaceted, playway method, and this curriculum is going to be shared to all. Means to say that now even the government schools will be having nursery, LKG, UKG, but through Anganwadi system. So now what in the Anganwadi, what happens? The people who are functioning in the Anganwadi, they may not be trained, they may not be educated. So what the government is going to do now, till 2023, we are going to provide training, 6 months training for those Anganwadi workers who are 10 plus 2, and those who are below 10 plus 2 will have a 1-year training system. The curriculum developed, designed by NCERT will come into vogue, which will be flexible, multifacet, like I told you, playway method, so that the children will be, universal in this stage of learning. Initial 5 years. Universality will be there, universal. Earlier what was happening is that Anganwadi were teaching something else, following a curriculum quite different, and the English medium schools, private schools are following a different curriculum. So there's no match. But now it is, the prime objective is to universalize the entire curriculum, so that all government schools and private schools the children are offered the same syllabi, same curriculum. Then comes the next stage. This is also a period of 3 years, preparatory stage. This is from standard 3 to 5. This stage, again, mother tongue will be there up to standard 5. Up to standard 2, there was no examination. Now from standard 3 to 5, children will be introduced to examination and the foundation of subjects. That means to say, the basics, the foundation of numeracy, the foundation of literacy. This is what the student is going to be focused upon. so that their foundation is strong. And as they come up to class 6 onwards, where there will really be a vast array of subjects before them, these children at least will have a sound numeracy and a sound literacy. Of course, mother tongue again here is followed, will be followed up to class 5, and it is proposed that maybe even up to class 8, the mother tongue can be a medium of instruction. मतलब जहाँ तक पॉसिबल है वहाँ तक मदर टंग विल बी द मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन. Now we come to the middle school stage, standard 6, 7 and 8, age group 11 to 14 years. Please note there is a difference of age group. At present, what we are following in school, 6, 7 and 8, is not 11 to 14 years. Right? So there is a difference of age group here. What we see here is that the government has extended the learning period up to 18 years. 6, 7, 8, 11 to 14 years, 9, 10, 11, 12, another 4 years you added, so that's 18 years. Now, this is the most important stage, middle school stage, because here a child is expected and it is stated that here the child will be extremely flexible, active, curiosity filled in the child, open to learning. So here, like in Korea, like in Japan, coding will be introduced in standard 6, so that the children will learn to develop the software and applications of that software. Plus, also like in South Korea and in China, we also introduce to the children in 6th standard internship. Now, what is this internship? This internship is vocational education, training of vocational education. This vocational education will not disturb the curriculum of the school, the syllabus of the school, the lesson plan of the school, but this vocational education will be during the vacation period. Summer vacation, winter vacation, that is when vocational education is introduced. Of course, we are not very clear about the syllabi of the vocational education, but it is stated that if a student is interested or the parent of the student is interested, they may go for some expert learning. They can be bagless for 10 days and they can join, like they can join a carpenter, learn the carpentry trade, or they can join computer, or they can learn some other trade like leather trade, or maybe ready-made garment trade, some beautician course. For 10 days they have to do that during the holiday period. Okay. Sign language will be introduced here, a very standardized elementary level of sign language which will be introduced over here. So what we see in 6th standard, beside the concepts of subjects, children now will also have to take part in coding classes. They will also have to participate in vocational education. They will also have to learn sign language. And of course, the mother tongue can be continued as a medium of instruction to standard 8 or beyond. Right? It all depends on the state government as to which medium of instruction they choose. This is just a guidance given from the Ministry of Education. And now it depends, it's not mandatory, it now depends on the state government as to which medium they will choose. For example, like Andhra Pradesh, they have chosen that we will follow English as the medium. The mother tongue, instead of being a regional language, will be English. So they are following English. Tamil Nadu has decided that they will follow two languages. system. Okay, we have a 3-language system. According to this 3-language system, 2 will be Indian, that is one mother tongue, one Indian language, and maybe one foreign language. So that is mandatory. So this is about standard 6, 7, and 8. So as we see here, multidisciplinary once more. There are no very specific subjects, co-curricular, curricular, even non-academic activities which earlier was considered as non-academic now will be considered as a subject and will be evaluated likewise. So there are no walls between subjects, no boundaries between curricular, co-curricular or non-academic subjects. Everything will be considered as a subject now. And a student is free to choose. The choice is free. Okay? They can choose what they desire. Next phase is the high school phase. In this, standard 9, 10, 11, 12 is there, as we already know, standard 9, 10, 11, 12. But now this phase, we are now divided it into two. According to the NAP, it will be semester system. 2 semesters. Okay? Plus, the board examination now, the weightage of the board examination has come down, has been reduced. Now the board will have to conduct 2 examinations a year. Okay? 2 examinations a year. That is what the board will have to conduct. The board has been given a specification, guidelines, that one examination will be objective based, one examination will be multiple choice questions, and they will place questions, ask questions, test the knowledge of application. How much application the student has gained, how much knowledge, and how the student can apply that knowledge. Knowledge application. On that basis, the skill of knowledge application, on that basis, the examination will be conducted. So again, no stream system. Children can choose what they want to study, their subjects in standard 9. Earlier it was in standard 11, but now from standard 9 they can choose their subjects and they can study that for 4 years. Okay. This is about the examination system. The student will now face a flexible examination system. They can opt for any 2 exams in a year. The exams would be, board exams would be like semester, modular, and annual exam. But a student has a choice to write 2 exams a year. The best of any one exam will be taken and will be marked in the report card. Okay, so it's a vast option for students. There is no pressure, no burden on the students. The stress of the students has been reduced. Okay, and the board exam, which was only once a year, now will be twice a year. The report card also, the design of the report card has been changed now. It's going to be a 360-degree report card. 360-degree means qualitative and quantitative assessments will also be there. Besides qualitative and quantitative assessments, the student will do a self-assessment. His friend will do an assessment for him, peer assessment, and the teacher will do an assessment. So, the student will be assessed by himself, by his friend, his peer, and by the teacher. Besides this, every report card will also carry one skill which the student has acquired in that particular year. Okay. Now, this skill will be mentioned in the report card after the teacher and the parent have discussed what skill the student has gone for and acquired, and that skill will be mentioned in the report card. In a way, it is going to be that when a student passes out from 12th standard, he'll have a report card in front of him, which is going to state all the skills that he learned per year. Okay, so he will know as to exactly how skilled he is. That will be accountability of the skills. So this was about the examination system. Then there's a lot of reforms now in higher education also. Okay, after plus two, a student can appear for a entrance examination. There's going to be now a common entrance examination conducted by the National Testing Agency. And this examination can be applied for admission to any college or university throughout India. Okay. But again, like I said, this is not mandatory because different universities and different colleges may adopt this system, may go for the NTA entrance examination, or they may formulate their own, they may design their own. So in higher education, there is a multiple exit and multiple entry system now introduced. Now this multiple exit and multiple entry system is like the American system. So there what happens is a student, if has a financial problem or family problem or whatever, so they opt out and then they can rejoin the same discipline at a later stage. Okay. So this has been now introduced in the higher education, one of the reforms. This is done basically in order to avoid the dropouts and to help to complete one's education, where there used to be many dropouts. More than 20 lakh people used to drop out almost every year because of some reason or the other. But now we are hopeful that the dropouts will now be reduced. There is going to be graduation of 4 years, post-graduation of 2 years, and both in graduation, 4th year, going to be research-based, and post-graduation, 2nd year, final year, is also going to be research-based. So now what it is there, MPhil has been opted out. There will be no MPhil degree. So after doing +2, a student is eligible to join any graduation course. And after joining the graduation course, he will opt for the research also. Now, let us see what is this research like. If a student completes the first year course, that is graduation course, so he will get a course certificate. He exits after the first year. He gets a course certificate. After 2 years of completion, he will be awarded a diploma certificate. If he exits after 3 years, he will be awarded a bachelor degree certificate. And on completion of the full course, that is, he has done the 4th year as a research, so he will get a bachelor's degree along with research certificate. Okay, so this is some reforms in the higher education. Academic bank of credit and credit transfers is now going to be there. So a student can gather credit, and that credit, on the basis of that credit, he can opt from one college to another college. He can do simultaneously 2 degree courses. He can pursue 2 courses from 2 colleges or 2 universities. Right? Now, what is the credit system? The student will be awarded 1 credit for 1 hour of lecture or for 2 hours of field work. Once he has achieved the credit score for that particular year, so then that credit can now be utilized and he can now switch his course or his college or his university, okay, because he has achieved the credit score. So this is with regards to that. B.Ed will now be 4 years, 4-year integrated course. This is going to be from 2023. All right. So the main focus for teacher recruitment now will be outstanding teachers both in urban and rural institutes. Part-time teachers, para teachers now will not be appointed. Substandard teachers education institutes, you must have seen many colleges are there which awards B.Ed, and students do not attend those colleges. Still, they manage to get the B.Ed examination, their diploma or their degree. Okay, such institutions now are going to be closed down, shut down. So teachers with excellent academic track record, tech savvy, and competent for teaching their subject both in mother tongue as well as in English. Okay, these teachers will now be considered from 2023 onwards. So teachers have been given a time to upgrade themselves, upgrade their skills till 2023. There's going to be a national professional standard set up for teachers. The focus is on quality teachers, and every in-house teacher at present, means every present teacher will have to pursue a 50 hours continuous professional development course. They have to pass the PDC. They have to pass the PDC to continue in service, to continue in the profession post 2023. All right. In 2030, there is going to be a performance revision conducted by the government, by the Director of Education. In 2030, there is going to be a performance revision. So, now teachers, this is 2020, from 2020 to 2030. So, teachers have ample of time to upgrade their skills. Okay. Now, what skills basically will be accountable for? What are the skills which is going to be in that performance? That is foundation skills, language skills, subject skills, literacy skills, numeracy skills, basic foundation numeracy skills, competency, how competent a teacher is with basic teaching skills. Okay, now teaching skills are various teaching skills are there. We have, I told you, the playway method, activity-based method, interactive method, lecture method, right? So we have got so many methods of teaching skills. So the basic teaching skills, competency will be checked. Moreover, there will be a continuous evaluation of a teacher's skill, and those who are substandard, whose performance will not match the performance equation set by the Director of Education, they will be slowly disqualified and they will be asked to leave. They will be asked to go till they do not upgrade or revise themselves. So, not only teachers, but even schools, you see, many schools management, you see, they do not have the proper infrastructure. So keeping that in mind also in NEP, now the schools have to make public their infrastructure, what they have got, to avoid commercialization in education. So schools, especially private schools, will have to make a public website. And on that public website, they will have to disclose the teacher's list, qualification of the teacher, number of years of experience, which classes and subjects the teacher has been allotted to, the number of classrooms in the school with the size, the labs, the playgrounds with the size, the infrastructure layout, what are the facilities offered, and all this has to be on their public website. Okay, this will be mandatory. under Section 8 of Companies Disclosure Act. Section 8 Companies Disclosure Act. This is mandatory. Also in the NEP, we have now a provision that after school, the premises of the school building can be used for imparting adult education or as a center for teaching the disabled children. Okay, especially children who are gifted, special need children, disabled children, they can use this premises for education. Again, for disabled children, there is going to be a new curriculum which is going to be inducted very shortly. And the gifted children, those who are well skilled, will be included into the mainstream, inclusion. So briefly, NEP is about no rote learning anymore. It is all knowledge acquirement and application of knowledge. Right? 2022 onwards, the 2022 board exam will be based on this. Knowledge acquired and application of the knowledge. How well you can apply that knowledge. This is what the student is going to be checked for, tested for. Local to global standards of education. The plan is to make our education not only regional but global, for which foreign universities are invited to India. They will be coming to India. They will be setting up their colleges in India. Okay, multidisciplinary college. They will not only be teaching any one particular, like a Sri Ram College of Commerce. It will not be only College of Commerce, but they will have to include other disciplines also. It's multidisciplinary. So, colleges have been invited to India. Global college, about 100 global colleges have been invited to come and set up the colleges and conduct. So, the students of India now don't have to travel abroad, but staying in India, they can take a foreign degree, a foreign course. To bring down the rate of dropouts, the ratio of dropout, NIOS now earlier used to only conduct exams in 10th and 12th, open schools, only exams in 10th and 12th. But now they will be conducting exams in standard 3, standard 5, standard 8, standard 10, and standard 12. So, open school is now available for those students who wish to drop out at any part of the learning period and want to come back. Like they drop out from third standard, they appear for the third NIOS, right? Drop out from fifth standard, they appear for the fifth standard NIOS. That is open school board exam. Mother tongue learning will still be there. Like I told you, initially up to second standard, then up to fifth standard, then up to eighth standard. And wherever possible, as far as possible, mother tongue is going to be the medium of instruction. Of course, those students who have an English background will obviously score because computers, science, accountancy, chartered accountancy, some subjects like this are in English, okay, and they are on the net in English. So obviously the students with English background will definitely score over, but we can be hopeful that mother tongue will soon catch up. So no burden to students anymore. Like I said, even the cost of education is going to go down. Vocational education is also going to be at a very low cost because of crowd sourcing, or what we call it outsourcing. So there could be a batch of students outsourced to a particular skilled teacher who can train them for 10 days in the vocational education, 6th, 7th, 8th vocational education. Okay, there will be control systems at all levels. Yes, NEP also gives emphasis to online education, distant education, and open schooling system. So in a way, NEP is very broad in all senses, and they have now offered this to the state governments for the state governments to understand and to implement. Okay, so this guidelines is not mandatory, but it is open for state governments, and in collaboration with the state governments, NEP 2020 is expected to be implemented by 2022. Okay, so thank you all, everybody. I hope
Thank you,
you
sir.
learned something. Thank you, Jaydev.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So I appreciate.
You can just send me the feedback, huh?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Teacher, having
Thank
any query or something we can discuss with sir. Sir is there also a couple of times. Sir,
Yeah,
can you just,
definitely, no problem.
if teachers having a few queries, I know sir personally also. We have never interacted, but I know him. But sir is very experienced in educational field. So what I request the teachers, you can put certain queries. Sir will definitely address it, and it will be helpful for us also.
Sure, sure. Most welcome, most welcome. And it was lovely meeting all of you.
Yes,
Excellent
sir.
people, all bright and sunny, like the day today.
Yes, yes, yes.
So let us look forward to a very bright future, especially where our national education policy implementation is involved. So we all work together for that.
Yes, sir. Right.
Thank you, Jaydev.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Meenakshi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Sir,
you, sir.
we
Thank
can
you, sir.
request participants, teachers to, if they have any queries, they can raise the question in the chat box. We can wait for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And Meenakshi, please send me your feedback.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Surely.
Thank you.
Sir, one question has been raised on clarity on no streams.
Pardon?
Clarity on no streams. Kavita Sharma, ma'am, just want to know what is no streams. Clarity on no streams.
No stream means we do not, a student will not particularly be forced to follow only science subjects like earlier it was, or only physics, chemistry, maths for IIT. See, what it is that a student can study physics and geography as well, can opt for physics, geography, English, biology, right? And so you can make up those 5 subjects which a student has to study. Okay, even if a student wants to study music, the music
Yeah.
is a subject now, dance is a subject now, yoga is a subject now.
Yoga, yes.
Okay, so that also can be considered as one of the subjects in what the student opts for, in his choice, right? So that is what I meant to say by no stream. No stream, okay, fixed stream, no such criteria for anything fixed. Like we used to do it in our days.
Yeah.
Commerce पढ़ना है तो commerce ही पढ़ना है. We could not study anything from science or arts, humanities, right? But now it is not like that. Students now are very lucky. They have got this national education policy. So there's, like they are open. They can learn whatever they want to learn.
They
And
have
they
an
even-
ample of opportunity to learn.
yeah, yeah. And even vocational education, they can go for whatever they want to learn further.
Right.
So by the time a student passes out from 12th standard, he will be capable, he will be skilled with a vocational education, capable of earning and learning.
Right.
So that is what the government has considered in this NEP. A student 12th standard onwards should be able to learn and earn at the same time.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, but one doubt is here.
Yeah.
Sir, but the student will be not a perfect package if we choose all the subjects.
Uh-huh.
Suppose the commerce student is choosing the biology, so he will not be perfect package for his future or career. That is the question.
No, whatever your student wants to, specialize in. So obviously from standard 9, he is going to study that. Now you want to specialize, say, in space physics,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So a student will study from 9th standard. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And so by the time he passes out from 12th standard and then goes for graduation, so he'll be specializing himself in that particular field.
Okay, sir.
All right. So that is what it is about. Right? Even the examination now, like I told you, the NTA, National Testing Agency, is now going to conduct examinations, entrance examination. Even for except for IT and medical, they are going to conduct the entrance examination for all colleges, right? Moreover, if we go even more deeper into the national education policy, we see that in the next 15 years, the colleges are not going to be affiliated to universities. Like at present, we have got, say, Agra University, and we have got 10, 20 colleges affiliated to Agra University. Okay? So in the
Yes.
next 15 years, this affiliation is going to be over. Right? And every college will be autonomous. They'll be functioning autonomous. They'll be multidisciplinary. They will not only be like I told you, Sri Ram College of Commerce. No. It will be Sri Ram College of Commerce, plus they will have to have other disciplines also. Right?
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any other questions? Follow-up query? Anybody?
Sir, not recorded in the chat box. Any teachers want to ask, please, you can unmute yourself and you can raise the question.
Yeah, sure. Seems like they're all, like
They overall been to this draft already. They have studied 2 3 times, and I hope what the way you elaborate today, whatever they have a confusion or something like that, they got cleared. So that was a kind enough, sir, today for this discussion. And I hope that not. I hope there is now much question from their side. But anyhow, sir, thank you from your side. Any question is there, we'll write it to you.
anytime, most
Yes.
welcome, anytime. Okay. And my number, if you want, you can just take it down, Jaydev sir.
Yes, please, sir. I'll take yes.
I think Meenakshi ma'am has my number also.
I collected from Meenakshi. Right. Thank you.
Please do.
Surely, sir, I will share it.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
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 Welcome.
Thank you, Thomas, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all participants. Thank you, principal, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Meenakshi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.